Welcome. One more story, and this one is a fairly, let's say, tough topic. A lady was raped when she was a teenager several times by her uncle. But actually, the story is of what could happen after a session, okay? So, this lady, she is, let's say, an hour and a half drive away from here in some small town, had this horrific experience as a child, right? And imagine that you're being raped by your uncle a few times, and when you go and tell your mom or your family, they don't believe you, right? And then on top of that, family parties later, you have to face this guy and nobody believes you. Boy, is that a traumatic event, right? The thing was about this, I did not know that that was the case. For whatever business relationship we had with this lady, we were just in contact, and my intuition just told me that, hey, something's up. I don't really know what it is, but something's there. And I was just sharing, hey, this is my profession, this is what I do. If it ever speaks to you, okay, I would be so happy to assist in anything, okay? And resistance, right? And okay, sure. But at some point, it was just like this kind or loving nudge that, all right, now's the time. And she said, finally, yes, okay. So I had no idea what it was. And this is the beautiful part about these balances is that I don't need you to explain me what horrific thing happened back when, right? That's not it. You can keep it all private. The only thing that I need you to do is to bring it consciously to your mind to the degree that you are able to. Not necessarily all at once, but bit by bit, okay, to the level that you're comfortable with, okay? So just go through the process, and whatever it is that's there, imagine you could reach that state of peace and non attachment to it. How beautiful would that be? Yeah, sure, right. Um, Amazing, hard to believe, sure, but give it a few minutes, okay, and take your time and make sure that you're fully having that sensation of, yeah, not attached to it anymore, right? And so she went through the process and definitely an experience, tears and whatnot. And then at some point it just lifted, all right? It was so beautiful to see, okay? Still, I had no idea what it was all about. But now, now you can see things in a different light, so to say, okay? What would actually be good for you? If you were to now see things in a different light, what would you really like? And so he shared with me that, of course, that experience had taught her to that she is powerless, right? Imagine you are there, you can't do anything, and even if you tell somebody, they're not listening. So that was what she could see now in this light, that all of her life she had had this sensation of being powerless. So what would you like things to be instead? Well, I have all the power to achieve everything I want. Okay? Sure, let's install this new program, so to say. And we did. And wow, that was one session, her first session, and everything changed. She told me a few months later that she had not even thought about that past for those couple of months and was so happy about that. But here's the thing then, why she came to me and was asking, well, now this other trauma had come to her awareness that for all of those years she didn't remember. The thing happened that when she was a small child, her dad just left her and her mom alone and, disappeared. And that was pretty traumatic to a small child, right? And so that had not been on her mind ever since the rape until now. It was like that thing was the big trauma that was overshadowing anything else, right? And so now that one had been lifted a few months ago. This new one emerged, and it was like, oh boy, it's just another one, right? And how many is going to come? And like, I I don't know, right? But isn't it amazing if we can just lift it this one as well, right? And so we did a few balances on that one, just one session, and again, totally released, right? Now, the question is then, if something else comes up along the way, isn't it just amazing, right? I don't think it will be anything healthy or anything good to just keep whatever traumas you might say that, let's say, are not consciously bothering us, but it's probably there somewhere in our system, unresolved. And I think it's just a matter of time before that turns into a ABC condition or symptom, right? So it might be the case for some people. Once you start this process of, let's say, cleaning out the garbage, that you just discover there's more garbage, right? But wow, if we could stick to that process, just let's say, give it a year, okay? 1 year from now, how many things could you actually resolve and release and change your perception about? What equals that in terms of expansion or potential, right? And so that's a possible consequence, that you might discover things here that were beyond your awareness now. But just think for a moment what that could actually generate. Okay, so I share this story to indicate that everybody have their own unique path in this. There's no telling what's going to actually happen, but we're in this together. I'd be so proud if you would allow me to assist you in your process and what magic could unfold. Okay, so wishing you all a beautiful day.